I hate to say it, but we could be potentially seeing millions of people lose their job over the next year. And this has nothing to do with AI. And honestly, this doesn't even include layoffs. Look at this. You probably remember this, where UPS announced a US driver voluntary resignation program. If you don't remember this, you probably weren't watching my channel, which means you should go ahead and subscribe right now. I'll give you a second. Okay. So, now that you're subscribed, here's what is going on. UPS, this was back in July, so over a month ago, okay, where UPS, they offered a resignation program. Look at this. It says the voluntary offer provided $1,800 per year of service at UPS, a minimum of a $10,000 payout, which means you only had to work at UPS for over 6 years and you could do their voluntary resignation program, which means they paid you $1,800 for every single year you were employed there. Guess what? They're not the only ones that have done that. The federal government, you may remember this, months ago, the Department of Government Efficiency sent out an email to millions of government employees. And according to records, more than 200,000 government employees took the voluntary resignation, meaning they would get full benefits and full wages until the end of September. We're coming up on that date. That's going to be critical. But look at this. This just came out recently. State Farm announces a voluntary employee exit program after using auto premiums to make up for homeowner claims. Keep in mind, the insurance companies, and this is a huge issue, the insurance companies that got hit in the California fires, okay, you may remember that, billions of dollars in losses. Those insurance companies had to use premiums from other parts of their business, like the auto industry, life, things like that, in order to make up for the claims that they had. But here's what's going on now. These companies are pulling out of specific states, like Florida and California. In doing so, they're losing customers. So what's happening is some of these companies are trying to downsize, but they don't want to lay off their employees. And they don't want to lay off their employees for one main reason. It's going to be more expensive, and it puts a lot of uncertainty on the company. Here's the reason why. When you lay off an employee, they go most likely file an unemployment insurance claim. That claim then gets put onto you as the employer. The problem is, if a person is unemployed for 3 to 4 weeks, not a big deal. But the majority of people that are unemployed right now have been unemployed long term. It's several months they've been unemployed, not just a few weeks. That's what State Farm wants to avoid. The other thing, okay, and this is a huge issue. If a large company is going to lay off hundreds of people, they have something where I think it's called the excuse me, the Warren Act, I believe, where these companies have to go and pretty much put it out there and let the the different agencies, the state, know that they're planning a mass layoff. And the issue there is, if they go and do that, okay, it looks bad. You can't just go and fire everybody. But the reason why they're doing these voluntary exit programs or voluntary resignations and they pay you is because they don't want to lay you off. Because they're worried about the legal ramifications. They're worried about the potential loss of revenue, loss of just income. And so that's the reason why. Because if they go and just give you a voluntary resignation, let's say they're going to say, okay, we're going to give you $1,800 for every year you've been here. Now they know exactly what it's going to cost. They can control that cost. They can't do that with unemployment. But look at this, okay? Because you're probably thinking, well, those are just a couple examples. State Farm, UPS. Who else is doing it? Well, look at this. It says nearly 600 staff to depart Duke under a voluntary program. Layoffs to follow in August. They are laying people off left and right. Laying them off. Okay? But the problem is they can't lay off that many people so quickly, so they give them an option. Take the money. Take the pay. Take the benefits. Take this for X amount of months. And let's not forget, the federal government did this. And I told you this before, that just watch. If the federal government is successful by reducing the amount of staff, by reducing their expenditures, if they're successful with it, just wait for other companies. Okay, just wait. You think Google, you think Meta, Amazon, you think they're immune to this? No, they do the exact same thing. They are offering people, some executives, managers, to take this benefit, take this voluntary departure, and we're going to pay you. Now you're probably thinking, well, I don't work for Amazon. I don't work for Meta. I don't work for Google, and I'm not a federal employee. How's this going to impact me? Just wait. Just wait. Wait till your company realizes we shouldn't do layoffs. We should do this voluntary exit program. Voluntary departure. Okay? Wait until that happens, because when it does, and this is what every business has said, it starts out slow. Everybody's concerned. I don't want to take it. I don't want to do this. Let's wait and see what everyone else does. And then they start accepting it and accepting it and accepting it. And then it's starting to fill up. And now you're worried, oh no, if I don't get in now, I may not get this. And so then you accept the voluntary resignation. You get the check. You're off on your own. But now what? Excuse me. This is the issue. And I've been warning of this. It's coming. More businesses are going to do this exact same thing. Mark my words. It is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So, I'll leave you with that, but let me know. If you have heard of other companies that are doing this exact same thing, let me know down in the comment section below. Which companies are doing it, and what does their voluntary resignation offer look like? Is it $1,800 like UPS, or is it something greater? Again, let me know down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.